So you want to buy a car wash. Find a corner lot, bolt in the equipment, watch the cars roll through. Simple. But here's the strange part. A car wash might be the closest thing in America to a machine that prints money on autopilot. A business where a customer pays you every single month, and most of them never even show up to collect. And it's also a business where thousands of hopeful owners pour $2 million into concrete and watch it drain straight into the ground. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how both of those things are true at once. How a car wash actually makes its money, and it's almost never the way you think. Why the customers who never wash their car are the ones keeping the lights on. And why the smart money on Wall Street quietly decided that a soap and water business was one of the best investments in the country. Because a car wash isn't really a car wash. Not anymore. Hold that thought. Let's start with the obvious question. What does it cost to get in? Car washes come in 3 flavors, and they are 3 completely different businesses wearing the same name. At the bottom, you've got the self-service bays. You've seen them. A row of stalls, a coin box, a wand that sprays soap for 4 minutes until you feed it more quarters. You can buy a small self-serve site for a few $100,000. Almost no staff, almost no drama, and almost no upside, because the customer does all the work and pays you for the privilege of a sore back. The middle tier is the in-bay automatic. One car pulls in, a machine on rails sweeps over it, and out it comes. These bolt onto gas stations and convenience stores all over the country. Cheaper to build, lower volume, fine as a side hustle for a fuel business. But it's not where the real money went. The real money went to the third flavor, the express tunnel. This is the one you want to understand. A long conveyor pulls your car through a cave of spinning cloth and colored foam while you sit inside doing nothing, and 90 seconds later you drive out the other end. Free vacuums on the way out. That's the model that took over America. And it is not cheap. Here's what a single express tunnel actually costs to build from scratch. The land, often $1 million, $1.5 million, because you need a busy corner with easy in and out. The building and site work, another $1.25 million. The tunnel equipment itself, all the conveyors and arches and blowers, roughly $600,000 to $700,000. Water treatment, another $150,000. Pay stations and controllers, vacuums, signage, permits, engineering. Add it all up, and one express car wash runs you somewhere between $2.5 and $7 million, with a typical build landing right around $5 million. For a car wash, to wash cars that cost the customer maybe $15. Which brings us to the question that actually matters. Where does the money come from? And this is where car washes get genuinely interesting. Because the answer changed completely about 10 years ago, and most people never noticed. For 100 years, a car wash sold you one wash at a time. You showed up when your car was dirty, you paid, you left. That's a terrible business. Your revenue depended entirely on the weather. One rainy month, one snowy winter, and your income fell off a cliff. Nobody washes a car in the rain. You were running a business whose sales were decided by the sky. Then somebody stole an idea from the gym industry, and it broke the whole thing wide open. The unlimited wash membership. You pay a flat monthly fee, call it $20 or $30, and you can wash your car as many times as you want. Drive through every single day if you feel like it. Sounds insane for the owner, right? Let people wash unlimited cars for $30 a month? Here's the number that makes it work. The average unlimited member washes their car about 3 times a month. 3. They're paying for unlimited and using almost none of it. And a huge share of members forget they even have the plan. The money just leaves their bank account, quietly, every month, whether they show up or not. Sound familiar? It's the exact same trick as the gym membership you signed up for in January and visited twice. Except a car wash membership is even stickier because it's smaller. $25 is beneath the threshold where people bother to cancel. It's not worth the phone call. Now compare the two customers. A single wash customer shows up 2 to 5 times a year and spends maybe $50 total. A member on a $20 plan spends $240 a year and does it automatically, rain or shine, whether they wash or not. That member is worth 5 times more to you than the guy who only comes when he's dirty. And it gets better because of how the payment works. When you join, you get a little sticker for your windshield, or the wash reads your license plate. You drive up, a scanner recognizes you, the gate opens, and you roll straight through without stopping to pay. No transaction, no friction, which means members move through the tunnel faster than cash customers, so you can wash more cars per hour, and you've locked in the revenue before a single car arrives. So here's the entire modern car wash business in one sentence. Sell as many memberships as possible. Keep them paying month after month. And let the small percentage who actually show up wash their cars while everyone else quietly funds the machine. That's it. That's the whole trick. The best car washes in America now get the majority of their revenue from members. Some of them are 80–90% membership. They are not really selling car washes, they're selling subscriptions. And the wash is just the thing they attach the subscription to. Now let's talk about why this business fell in love with itself so hard that Wall Street came running. Because once you understand the membership model, you understand why the economics look almost too good. Think about the cost to actually wash one more car. The soap, the water, the wax, the electricity to run the conveyor for 90 seconds. On a modern tunnel with water reclaim recycling most of what it uses, the marginal cost of running one car through is often well under $1. Sometimes just a few cents of chemical. So when a member pays you $30 a month and washes 3 times, you collected $30 and spent maybe 3. Everything else is margin. This is why a well-run car wash can post cash flow margins that most restaurants and retailers would kill for. Full-service operators pulling adjusted margins anywhere from the mid-30s up past 50%. A self-serve site can run even higher on a percentage basis because there's barely any staff at all. And here's the part that made the investors lose their minds. That membership revenue is recurring. It's predictable. It shows up every month like clockwork, whether it's sunny or snowing. Wall Street doesn't pay a premium for a business that sells one wash at a time, but a business with thousands of automatically recurring subscriptions? That looks less like a car wash and more like a software company that happens to spray water, which is exactly why the money flooded in. For decades, the car wash industry was mom and pop. One family, 1 or 2 sites, passed down or sold to a neighbor. Then private equity did the math on recurring memberships and started buying everything in sight. They'd roll up dozens of independent washes, slap one brand on all of them, convert every customer to a membership, and sell the whole bundle to a bigger fund for a fatter multiple. The single biggest name, Mr. Car Wash, grew into hundreds of locations and nearly $1 billion a year in revenue, with a membership program, the Unlimited Wash Club, carrying millions of members and margins near 30%. And in early 2026, that same Mr. Car Wash was taken private in a deal valuing it at around $3 billion. $3 billion for a chain of car washes. Because to a private equity firm, it was never really a chain of car washes. It was $3 billion worth of recurring monthly subscriptions with real estate attached. That's the dream version. Guaranteed monthly money, tiny cost per wash, land underneath you appreciating the whole time. So with all of that going for it, why does anyone lose? Because the math that looks bulletproof on a spreadsheet has to survive contact with a $5 million hole in the ground. Let's talk about everything the membership fantasy conveniently leaves out. Start with the debt. Almost nobody pays $5 million in cash for a car wash. They borrow most of it, often through an SBA loan or a commercial mortgage. And that loan wants to be fed every month whether or not you've signed up a single member. Your equipment could be perfect, your soap could smell like heaven. And if you haven't built a membership base fast enough, the debt payment eats you alive before you ever turn a profit. New washes routinely take a couple of years just to fill up with enough members to breathe. Run out of cash during that ramp, and the bank takes the building. Then there's the thing every new owner underestimates. The tunnel is a machine, and machines break. That conveyor, those blowers, the hydraulics, the pumps, they run thousands of cars a day through water and chemicals and grit. Things wear out. Things jam. A major breakdown doesn't just cost you the repair. It shuts the tunnel, which means the members you're still charging can't wash. And nothing makes a customer cancel faster than paying for a service that's got a closed cone in the driveway. Water is its own quiet monster. A tunnel uses a lot of it, and in a lot of towns the sewer bill is worse than the water bill, because everything you spray has to be treated on its way out. That's why serious operators spend 6 figures on reclaim systems that recycle water through the wash again and again. Skip that to save money on the build, and your utility bills quietly bleed you every single month for the life of the business. And here's the failure that kills more washes than any breakdown. The wrong corner. A car wash lives and dies on location, and not the way people think. You don't just need traffic. You need traffic that can easily turn in and easily turn out, going the direction people actually drive during their daily routine. Build a beautiful $5 million tunnel on a road with a median that blocks the left turn, or on the going to work side instead of the coming home side. and you will watch tens of thousands of cars roll past your empty lot every day. The equipment doesn't matter, the soap doesn't matter. If people can't conveniently pull in, they never become members, and without members, the whole model collapses. Plenty of gorgeous washes have gone under on great-looking corners that were subtly, fatally hard to enter. Then there's the crowding. When investors realized how good these margins were, everybody built. In a lot of American suburbs, you now have 4 express tunnels within a mile of each other, all fighting for the same drivers, all slashing their membership price to steal each other's customers. That $25 plan becomes $19, becomes a $2 first month, becomes a price war nobody wins. The membership model only prints money when you're not surrounded by 6 other people running the exact same model on the exact same street. So step back and look at the paradox honestly. A car wash has one of the most beautiful revenue mechanisms in small business. Recurring subscriptions, tiny marginal costs, appreciating real estate. And yet owners still go broke, because the beautiful part only shows up after you've survived the ugly part. The membership money is real, but it arrives slowly. And everything you built it on, the debt, the machines, the water, the corner, the competition down the street, has to hold together long enough for the members to pile up. The subscription is bulletproof. Everything underneath it is a knife fight. Now let's answer the actual question. If you get it right, how much do you make? 2 scenarios, real numbers. Scenario 1. The single express tunnel. You build for around $5 million, most of it borrowed. A healthy site washes somewhere around 100 to 150,000 cars a year, and builds a membership base of a couple thousand recurring members. At maturity, that wash can throw off somewhere in the range of a few $100,000 up to 7 figures in annual cash flow, depending heavily on the corner and how deep the membership runs. It's not glamorous. It's not fast. The first 2 years can be terrifying. But get through the ramp, fill the membership base, and you own a machine that generates predictable cash every month and sits on land that's worth more every year. Payback in the range of 5 to 7 years, then it just keeps humming. Scenario 2. You don't build one. You build a chain, or you buy the small guys and roll them up. This is the game the big money actually plays. 10 sites, 20 sites, 50 sites, all converted to membership, all under one brand, all sharing one back office. Now you're not selling car washes anymore, you're selling a portfolio of recurring revenue that a bigger buyer will pay a premium multiple to own. This is how a soap and water business turned into a $3 billion take-private deal. The individual wash makes decent money. The collection of washes, packaged as a subscription empire, makes a fortune. And here's the fun part most people miss. The customer thinks the product is a clean car. The owner knows the product is the membership. And the investor knows the real product is the recurring revenue itself. A stream of money so predictable you can borrow against it, bundle it, and sell it for more than the sum of the concrete and steel that produce it. That's the whole thing in one sentence. The dirty car is the excuse. The monthly subscription is the business. And the land underneath is the retirement plan. So if you do decide to buy a car wash, remember the one rule this entire industry runs on. Nobody gets rich washing cars. They get rich collecting the $25 from the people who forgot they signed up. Month after month, rain or shine, whether a single car shows up or not. Find the right corner, sell the membership, and let the ones who never show up quietly make you wealthy.